when I look back at Tomorrowland and stop talking about it, I feel like, okay, but why are you talking about it? I mean, you think it was all that great. Why are you talking about it? This is for a different video I'm talking about. I mean, even if we love these filmmakers who are doing these projects, we can't always think they'll all be great. Usually that's what we expect, but sometimes, is there a possibility that you may end up getting something a little disappointing? Because I think that is true. Last year, a lot of Nolanites were not completely satisfied with Christopher Nolan's Interstellar. Same here. I'm a huge fan of Nolan. I've been a huge fan of Nolan. I mean, I love the Dark Knight trilogy. I love Inception. I also love Memento. I have not seen Following or The Prestige. Sad. I also not seen Insomnia. I forgot about that. But overall, I'm a huge fan of him. And I like to see any sort of project he does, because he's a guy who really is one of my favorite blockbuster filmmakers of all time. We also, I mean, he mostly can do, he makes them better than average because he adds a lot of quality to him, like art to it. You know, art. Makes something imaginative, creative. He puts effort into making something great, but there are times where they just can't really beat him. A lot of people are always a lot of people complain about The Dark Knight Rises, but to be honest, guys, were you really expecting something to really beat The Dark Knight? I love The Dark Knight Rises. I love Dark Knight. Who doesn't? That's the best of the series. Aaron considers her favorite Batman Begins because it's an origin story. Are you fucking kidding me, Aaron? Why? How does a fucking origin story... Seriously, I get it about an origin story, but sometimes origin stories can be improved upon more. Make a film better because, I mean, you have a lengthy origin story to go across, introducing us to the character, setting him up, and then getting into the action. However, here, with the sequel, you can improve upon it. You know, expand more upon it, not get a greater sense of character, but also you get more straightforward. I mean, you're more stronger with their pacing and all that shit. Sorry, guys, if this is annoying and kind of sickening for you. But this is something I want to talk about. Not all filmmakers can create good films. There are some people who have taken disappointments and can even create bad ones. M. Night Shyamalan, he gets hated, but he started off with promise. I love The Sixth Sense. We all do. I liked Unbreakable, even though it wasn't as great as The Sixth Sense, especially with the twist. It wasn't bad, but I thought it could have been better. Anyways, he also made Signs. I didn't see the entire thing. I saw most of it, but I heard it was a little disappointing. And then I heard about The Village, which got mixed reviews, getting hate for its twist ending, proving that he's becoming more of a one-note hit. Then he released Lady in the Water, which I heard got some sort of hate. Then he also made The Happening, which I heard was awful. Then, of course, the film that sunk his career, The Last Airbender. That's right, guys, The Last Airbender, one of the worst movies I've ever seen, becoming a piece of shit, raping our childhoods, even though he claims to be a fan of the show, which is a lie. Winning Razzies, I'm tired, guys. And ruining his reputation for good. He also made After Earth, which is a step up from The Last Airbender. I'll praise him for that. But he's still... It's proof that he just really can't handle that he has the wrong script to work with. And from what I heard about Wayward Pines, he directed the pilot, I think. Maybe only the pilot, maybe he directed some other additional episodes, I have no idea, but he's an executive producer. That show is getting praise. Proving that maybe he's finally returning to form. Maybe we're actually getting something good for him, and maybe we might get more from him with his next film coming out, The Visit. Now, I did see the trailer, skeptical, but maybe I could be hopeful, because this is an independent film. He's no longer doing these big blockbuster films. He could be doing something smaller, getting back to his smaller roots, and maybe showing that he may restart his career, you know, give us something good again. But we'll have to wait and see. We have to wait till I think like September. But he did start with promise, but he did fall apart. He was hailed as the next new thing, like the next Spielberg. Now, this is one he may not really talk about, but from what I heard, Tobe Hooper, he received some hate. He made Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Poltergeist, and I really like those movies. But he made a sequel to Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which took a different direction, being more of a dark comedy, which was hated. Received hate. He also, I think, produced some other films, and he overall, I think he's a good filmmaker for what I've seen. I haven't seen all of his films, but he made some mishaps. Another classic example, George Lucas. I swear to God, no one can stop talking about how the mishap this guy made with the prequels. He started with promise. I mean, THX1138 has gained a massive following since. It's actually his first film. If you've not seen that, seen it. I loved American Graffiti. Okay, I don't know what I'm saying about THX1138. If you have not seen it. If you're a fan of George Lucas, if you want to see his older films, and of course this one has good reviews, you should probably see it. Not demanding it. I want to see it, though. I do. I probably rent it on demand. Anyways. He also broke out with Star Wars, making sci-fi a phenomenon, becoming one of the most successful film of all time when it was released. And then, of course, he executive produced the sequels, the original trilogy. He co-wrote Episode 6. And I think he may have wrote the story, for Episode 5, but he never really directed them. And he never really had major involvement in the script for Episode 5. He didn't really direct Episode 6 either. I mean, I already told you he didn't direct the sequels. But then the prequels came, and he fell apart. My God. Episode 1, being a disappointment. Episode 2, a little better, but still disappointment, and a lack of no real source of improvement, which really fucking pissed me off. Episode 3, however, showed that he could have some potential of some sort of future in his old age. But of course, he's semi-retired from that. He did showcase that Episode 3, while it still has its flaws, is still actually a good movie. Shocking. I actually thought that was actually a good film, actually a good conclusion to the subpar prequel trilogy. Look at my Indiana Jones Kingdom Crystal Skull poster. Can't believe I have that shit in my room. Look at that shit. Oh my God. Look at that crap. Steven Spielberg. What the hell were you thinking? Also, George Lucas. What the hell, guys? And of course, another example. Steven Spielberg. He has made his sort of mishaps. Not every film is the best resume. I mean, even guys who have some sort of consistency still have their downfalls. Brad Bird had a recent one. He was doing so great. Then came this film, Tomorrowland. And while I didn't hate it, it was a little disappointing and not really up to par as other films. It's a very divisive film. I'm more on the side that likes it. Kind of a little in between, but a little bit past the in between part. 3 out of 5. That's just going to help you more. That'll be more of an if you understand that part. Now, let me continue. I want to Steven Spielberg has made sort of mishaps. I mean, he's got hate for Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, although we do love him as a filmmaker. He also critics did not like Hook. That's saying something. Yeah, I don't have a lot that I know, but I heard I think he made 1941. I think he directed it. Yeah, that didn't receive a lot of like either. That really says something. I'm getting really tired, guys. Holy shit. I'm just tapping the tripod thing or something. Quentin Tarantino, I think he's had some mishaps. He's had some films that are not up to par with his other films. He even starred in some films that are considered bad. That's what he's he's not the best actor, but the films he's starring are good. I mean, I love Quentin Tarantino. I love Quentin Tarantino as a filmmaker. Really excited for Hateful Eight. But he has had some mishaps as a filmmaker. I mean, I think he's been involved with some films that weren't considered all that great. Kind of bad, actually. Sorry, guys. It's a shadow. I thought it was actually my hair sticking down. Wait. I'll look in the bathroom later. But this is something I want to talk about. Filmmakers can make some mishaps. I mean, Christopher Nolan, he didn't really make any real mishaps, but he did disappoint me. Man of Steel, I mean, he wrote the story for it. He also produced it. And I heard co-produced it. I was a little disappointed in that film because it didn't feel like a Superman movie, really, in my opinion. It wasn't awful, in my opinion, but it wasn't all that great either. The film was the trailer was better than the movie, really. I didn't hate it. I thought there were some problems with it, the mass destruction, and being a little too dark. Didn't really symbolize the hero and really make him all of that. It didn't really capture what Christopher Reeve did with Superman movies. And I'm hopeful that Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice, can do something good. But I don't know. I'm sorry guys, I'm just gonna have to WT for the zoom in. I think W is wide, T, I have no idea, maybe tight? I don't know. I'm just dragging this shit along. Another example of filmmakers that have had some problems with their films lately. James Wan. I mean, this guy is praised for his work in the horror genre. He's considered one of the best horror directors of all time. Well, not of all time. Maybe of all time. Maybe we're not going to mention. I have no idea. But really, this decade. I mean, I think he's the defining horror director of this decade. He had some problems with some of his films. I mean, he's produced some clunkers, such as Annabelle, which I heard was awful. He also directed this movie called Dead Silence, which was a collaboration between him and Leigh Whannell, they made Saw. Saw was not well received by critics, but people could not get enough of it. It was a huge hit. Sequels came along, and they just got worse with the reception. Some people did not like them really all the time. And then it just got even worse. I mean, there are times where they did depart from the franchise. They were some executive producers, but they didn't have any major part in them. Dead Silence, I heard, was also just got bad reviews. Critics and audiences alike. But he mostly, from what I've seen recently, and also I heard Insidious. I heard Insidious was terrifying. I have not seen it yet. It's on my DVR. I heard Insidious 2 wasn't as great as the first one. So, yeah. Also, I mean, we all love The Conjuring. We all do. But this just proves that these guys, he's more inconsistent, really. But that's still proof that he does, a director who's otherwise praised for being one of the best horror directors working today, he still has had his fair share of faults, of some misses, you know? I heard, damn it, who am I talking about? Robert Reiner. That's another example. I'm looking up another director. Other filmmakers, basically. But Robert Reiner did make this a Spinal Tap. I love that movie. It's really funny. He also received praise for A Few Good Men. Sorry, guys. My throat's dry. I actually look up more because I don't know all of his films, really. And we all know him as All in the Family, When Harry Met Sally. And actually, I'm looking... Oh, Nora Ephron! Oh, shit. The writer of that film, When Harry Met Sally. Nora Ephron. I mean, she created some good movies, but she did have some mishaps. Bewitched. And when Harry Met Sally is just praised by people. Midnight in Seattle, I think it's pronounced. I have no idea. Oh, Rob Reiner also made Misery. He also made The Princess Bride. I can't believe I forgot about that. I love that movie. It's so funny. But he unfortunately has had his... Oh, Stand By Me. Seriously, I've seen these movies, and yet I don't remember. My head's really off today. But he has made good films. But recently, he doesn't seem to have really had that same thing. Because some of his work hasn't been as well received. And So It Goes didn't get a lot, got hated. The Magic of Belle Isle, I have no idea. The Bucket List got mixed reviews. Some people may have liked it, actually, but, you know, not people did. Rumor Has It, I heard, was bad. Yeah. He also made... Oh, The American President, he also directed that. That got praised. That doesn't count. He also made North, which I heard was an awful movie. Thank God I have not seen it. Better shoo myself away from that insult to cinema. God, holy fucking shit. Yeah, it's another example of a filmmaker that is inconsistent, that can make a few mistakes. Ah, shit. Sorry, guys, I gotta look up Nora Ephron. I gotta look up her resume. Midnight in Seattle, I think it's pronounced. Oh, Sleepless in Seattle. That's what it was called. She wrote and directed that. Well, co-wrote it. She also did Julia and Julia, wrote and directed it, got praised for it. But she did receive her fair share of hate. Julia and Julia was actually her last film. Because it's a good send-off based on the good reviews. 3 times she was nominated for best writing, like for writing categories in the Oscars. I like that. I haven't seen all of her film. I haven't really seen her films really, which is really sad. Bewitched, I heard, was hated. Was Lucky Numbers hated? I think it was. Yep, Lucky Numbers was hated. See, these are filmmakers who have a legacy or praised, but they do have misses. These are examples. Don't expect every film. If you are really expecting filmmaker to do good, fine. Go ahead and expect that. I don't care. That's your opinion. If you want to stay that way, do it. One filmmaker that I really love, Neil Blomkamp. Sure, I didn't like Chappie, and I haven't seen Elysium. I heard that was a little disappointing. I love District 9, though. He shows potential as a director. It'd be nice to see him back as, for Alien. Maybe the new Alien movie could get him back on top. But I have no idea. I'll have to wait and see. This is proof that even though he received massive praise and he was really just this new talent, and I was really excited, he did have a mishap. And this is just another proof. That says something. Matthew Vaughn, I think. I never really see him have any sort of misses. Sorry guys, this camera is fucked up with its focus. Hold on a minute. Matthew Vaughn's a guy who I think has a good resume. Oh wait, maybe it's not. Okay, just a little bit. Matthew Vaughn has had some good success, He's a guy who, he produced Kick-Ass 2. He didn't direct it or co-write it, which really made me sad because he really made Kick-Ass awesome. Kick-Ass 2 was disappointing. Fuck. I need a new camera, guys. I do. Anyways, he's mostly successful. X-Men First Class, Kingsman. I heard Layer Cake was good, but I didn't see it. I haven't seen Stardust either. I want to, though. That makes you want to throw up. I understand. If that grosses you out, I understand. I apologize. Anyways, I also want to continue on the fact that, you have high expectations. I understand that. J.J. Abrams, he's directing Star Wars Episode 7. I'm excited for it. Could it be a mishap? Hopefully not. Because I don't want another prequel trilogy. But it also could. You can't always expect it to be fantastic. It's hard to satisfy everybody, but at least satisfy most of the general public, really. Or just satisfy us generally. Anyways. It's not easy to do that. Irvin Kershner is a director who I never really knew about. He was fantastic. He did a fantastic job with Episode 5. Then he made RoboCop 2, and I fucking hate that movie. Marjorie Marquand, I don't know what he made. But, he's more of a one-hit wonder also. I think. I have no idea. Comment below. Also, Lawrence Kasdan, this guy was popular with the Star Wars series, but from what I heard in his later films, I know he's co-writing Episode 7. I'm really excited for that, because you have an original Star Wars writer. He unfortunately he made some mishaps with some horror films, I think, and he got Razzie nods. Oh, he got some Oscar nods too. He got praise, I think, for The Accidental Tourist, I think it's called. I have no idea. Comment below, because I don't really want to look this up again, because this video is going on it's almost 20 minutes. Anyways, guys, these are just a lot of examples I have of filmmakers who are highly praised and have great resumes, but they've made some mishaps in their careers. Just understand that, filmmakers can make mistakes, but, it's not all, they don't always make them. They just, sometimes they may be subject to a few of them. Realize that not everyone is perfect. Understand that not everyone is perfect. Some people have made mistakes. Not one person are not always consistent with their choices. Some people make mistakes. Just keep that. Just understand that, not everyone is perfect. I'm trying to go to the head with it. But yes, no one is perfect. They're subject to mistakes. Comment below. Do you agree with me? Do you have other examples of filmmakers who've made some mistakes, who are considered good, yet have made their mistakes? Fair share of mistakes? Comment below some examples. Comment below on the video, if you agree with my my position on filmmakers, how they can make a few mistakes. Just comment below and subscribe to my channel for more videos.